5-minute little release for the hips. So what we are going to start with is that point just in the lumbar spine. So you want to think it's above that pelvic ridge here, above that crest, and you're just going to go up about an inch, and you want to make sure you're not on the spine, so there'll be about an inch between the balls. So you'll take them, we'll just go here, and then we'll come to lay onto the back. Probably easier to lay down and then shimmy them in. And so once they're under there, remember they're not on the spine, they're in that kind of divot. Just take a moment. I like to start with the knees bent, and then let your arms rest where it feels comfortable. I'm going to use the breath here. So as you inhale, see if you can press into the balls, so you're compressing it down. And then as you exhale, just feel like you're softening in the balls. They're kind of melting in towards the body, just releasing the adductors, the muscles that run along the spine. So a couple like that. So breathing in, pushing down into the balls, feel that compression, and then exhaling to soften. Maybe 2 more. If that feels helpful, you can always go a little while longer. And then release. Last one, so inhaling to compress, pressing into the balls. And then exhaling, just completely relaxing. Almost feel like the balls are moving up into the tissues. Then just let both of your knees fall over to the right. It's going to create a little more sensation on the right side. Remember, again, we're looking for helpful, there's a tenderness, a release, but not sharp, aggressive pain. Couple breaths, you can hold that. And then to the second side, you might even take your arms wide. It doesn't really affect what's going on here, but it can just have this nice effect of opening across the front of the chest. Just take a few rocks side to side, letting the weight of your body rest into the balls. Coming back to center, just take a few moments here in that center point so the weight is even from left to right. The belly is relaxed, the jaw is relaxed. And then when you're ready, just slide the balls out of the way and then just let the spine, again, re-nestle to the floor. Take a couple moments here. So if any of these feel helpful and you need to stay a little while longer, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we're going to start with that glute, kind of the constellation. So we've done this before, but underneath that bony ridge, but starting a little more medially, so not on the sacrum. And then we're going to go around and kind of across. So I like to start, we'll just do one at a time. So slide, say, under the right glute. If you've got the other one, it doesn't matter. You do one and then the other. And even when I'm right on the back, I like to come all the way down. You can also be up on your forearms. And you can just take a few moments and kind of rock a little bit towards the outer edge, kind of the back corner of the hip. A little bit side to side here. Anywhere is helpful, you can stay there. And just releasing out, so the glute med, glute med, these hip stabilizers. And then I like to come up onto the form for this next bit. So you're going to keep wiggling around. We've done this before. Wiggle around until you get just right around here, that back corner. You usually find it pretty easily, and just rest. And deciding what's helpful. So you might just let the body rest here, especially if it's super tender. If it's feeling a little more pliable today, you can go slow. So as you inhale, you'll lift that right leg and then place it back down. So you're just going to do that slow. And what that's enabling us to do as we compress, let the weight be heavy into the ball, and move the foot, move it distally, we work into the deeper layers. Take one more, and then release. And then you just wiggle your way around a little more. And you're going again where that frontal hip bone is, just slightly lateral and slightly down. So about an inch there. And again, you typically find this pretty easily. And you'll start to turn your body about 45 degrees towards the floor. And yep, there's that sweet spot for me. And just take a couple of breaths. You can rock or be still. So with all of these, all you want to do is just stay off of the bony masses or anywhere that is obviously swollen or aggravated. But you kind of see what's helpful. So sometimes it's being still, that compression, and sometimes it's a little bit of a rock. And then when you feel ready, just release through there. And come onto the back. You can hug the knees in, rock a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to stay on that same leg. So if you've been working the right leg, it'll be the right, but we're just going to go into the adductors, so the inner thigh. So last two spots, inner thighs, and then we're going to go into that abdominal region again. So again, with the inner thigh, you can be a little bit curious here, but you're laying on your side and place the ball. Let's start kind of towards the knee a little bit and just place it there. You can let everything be heavy. You can even rest the head. Just want to see what feels helpful. And you might like to rock a little. You can go the length of the muscle. You can also rock a little bit left to right. And obviously, just watching you don't lose the ball. And then again, you can do those little leg lifts or even that sweeping motion. So you keep the foot on the floor, it's really heavy, and you're just kind of bending and extending the leg, and that could be really helpful as well. So kind of a few techniques. So either that lift, that straighten and bend, or just being still or rocking. So it's like 30 to 60 seconds kind of roughly in each point, less or more depending on what feels right, but you don't have to be too long. So, you know, if you're here and then you move here, it'd be 30 or 60 seconds on each of them. But, so just moving up, little roll. That one's not very sensory for me, so I'll just keep going. And then again, it's right up towards that inner thigh. Might even turn the block sideways here. And again, oh, yeah, that's tender. So that you know the sensation. Let the thigh bone be heavy, let the foot rest. And if it's really tender today, you can even just chuck a cushion underneath that knee and it just gives you a bit of support. Just let your head come all the way down. And again, same thing, straightening, lifting, rolling, or being still. And when you feel ready, again, rolling off to the back. Take a little rock from side to side. And what I would recommend is doing the right and the left hip before you come into that abdomen psoas. The ball has rolled away. So again, I'm going to come into it, and we're just going to go just about an inch apart in line with the navel. We'll do that spot, and then we're going to go find your hip bones, and you're just going to go in from the hip bones. So they're in the same line, in line with the hip bones, in line with the navels, about an inch between. So, again, see what feels helpful. So wiggle the balls in, and let your head rest. I like to make a little pillow. Let your legs relax, let your belly relax. And this is, again, a really nice one. So as you inhale, press into the balls, so push the belly into the balls as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just soften, and it feels like the balls have space to move further into the body. And massaging. So if you like that, breathing in to press down and softening. Maybe two more. If it feels helpful, you might even do a couple more, but somewhere around 4 to 6. And then again, it could feel nice here. If you press up onto your forearms and create that sphinx-like sensation, you're going to let the torso, the belly be heavy onto the balls, but there's that gentle traction of the elbows back and a little lift of the sternum. And then if you lengthen the tailbone down, you might feel a little more. You could even rock a little bit left to right here. Just subtle, it's again just a couple of centimeters, really subtle. And then again, resting. And then to get to that second point, you can either slither your way up, or you can use your hands and move the balls. And again, I think I might be off the screen now, but hopefully you know, you're familiar with this one now. So Again, use the belly, inhale to press into the balls. And again, we're not looking for pain, but a sensation that's helpful. So I'd say 5 or so there again, and you can do that little rock side to side. And also including the leg lifts. And again, they don't have to be big, just go with sensation and what feels helpful. So I think that's a really, kind of quick, there's a few areas, if we focus on that for now, and hopefully we start to create a little bit of relief, and then we can swap and use some different techniques in some different areas in a week or so. So try to get that every day, every other day, see what happens.